We're enhancing Databricks SQL warehouse script deployments. With this release, users only need to maintain a single create table or view script. There's no need to manage separate alter statements or worry about code synchronization. This update simplifies the deployment process, reduces manual effort and errors, and makes script management easier and more efficient. In this demo, we'll walk through deploying a change to an existing table, creating a new table, and performing a rollback. We'll add new columns to the existing raw JIRA issues demo table, developed in the DataOps dev catalog. After merging changes into the test branch, they're ready for deployment to the DataOps test catalog using Opsera pipelines, where you can review the SQL deployment plan, approve, and deploy. I've added two new columns, Customer ID and Customer Field, to the raw JIRA items demo table in the DataOps dev environment. These changes have been thoroughly tested, and the updated code is now merged into the test branch. As a user, you only need to maintain the create statement. We'll handle any necessary alter preparations as part of the deployment pipeline. During the deployment process, we'll generate a SQL deployment plan for your approval. Once you approve the plan, the code will be deployed. Our deployment process supports adding or deleting columns, modifying data types, adding or updating table or column comments, and making changes to table properties. Update the file path in SQL deployment config.yaml to specify the location of your table scripts. Additionally, maintain a separate SQL deployment rollback config.yaml file. This should list the tables to be rolled back and their corresponding versions. Now let's set up the Databricks and GitHub connections in the Opsera platform. Let's begin by configuring the connections. Here, I've already set up Databricks connections for both dev and test workspaces, along with a GitHub connection for version control. Now, let's create a deployment pipeline by selecting the Databricks test connection and the Git connections. Begin by assigning a unique name to your pipeline. Select your Git repository and branch, and provide the path to your SQL deployment config.yaml file. If rollback is needed, specify the SQL deployment rollback config.yaml file. The process is identical for both deployment and rollback operations. Next, select the target catalog for deployment. Although you can deploy to multiple catalogs at once, in this example, we'll deploy only to the DataOps test catalog. Click Confirm to review your pipeline settings, then click Create Pipeline to finalize the setup. The pipeline has been created successfully. Now it's time to configure the approval step. This is essential for reviewing the SQL deployment plan before deploying code to the DataOps test catalog. Click on the approval step to configure it. Enter your approval message and the email address of the approver. You can also set up notifications through Slack, Teams, or email. Now let's review the SQL deployment plan. To review the SQL deployment plan, run the pipeline, navigate to the Pipeline Run option, and select the approval step. During the review, two alter statements were identified based on the code provided, both adding new columns to the raw JIRA items demo table. Additionally, since the Transform JIRA Issues demo table does not exist in the DataOps test catalog, a create statement was triggered for this table. All operations were validated and the changes were applied successfully. As the SQL deployment plan looks good, let's go ahead and approve the step so the pipeline can proceed with deploying the code. I can see that the pipeline has executed successfully. Now, navigate to the Pipeline Run section and review the deployment step logs for more details. I can see that the deployment to the DataOps test catalog is complete, with a new table successfully created and an existing table altered as expected. Thank you. To learn more, visit opsera.io and book a meeting with our team.